Hello, everybody. I am the Worm. Last time we handled the Golem Bay. Well, or maybe the Golem Bay handled me. Either way, we got through it. And now we were about to move on when we seem to be being accosted by a British gentleman. I don't I don't know yet because we've only heard the voice. But needless to say, I'm somewhat confused and a bit anxious. It's never good to be accosted by the British, but hopefully our three characters here will be able to handle it. Obviously, we didn't learn anything or that much that was substantial last time, other than the fact that there are robots, and that's very concerning to me. Humanoid robots. So that's something. Yeah, I'm really curious how long our group was in cold sleep. I mean, that's not been confirmed, but I'm assuming it's the case. Because, yeah. What with the Radical Six thing, which really looks like it's going to be an artificial thing, and the fact that we have these humanoid robots. Yeah. And my sneaking suspicion that we're on a moon base. It all feels, something. Plus, whenever you see those, I mean, they look like the Terminator robots. So, I mean, who's to say, are we robots? I mean, at least the old woman didn't seem like she was since she was, stabbed and bleeding. So, who knows at this point? But they're what with the virus, the robots, the antimatter bomb, we're getting into some sci-fi here. Not all sci-fi, of course, but I'm definitely seeing some of those motifs. Anyway, let's find out who in the world this guy is. I've held you up long enough. Let's go. Was that you, Luna?
No.
Then Alice?
You honestly think a voice that coarse could come from a throat as fine as this?
Alice has a very high opinion of herself, doesn't she? Then.
Oh yeah, that was me, mate. Oi, over here.
Sigma, look! What is that?
No.
Oh, blimey, that hurts.
The robot is British? Say it ain't so.
Ain't right for a fellow's back to feel like this.
Are you Harold? It's a robot.
And it's talking.
With an accent.
Nah, can't help it, Flower. Didn't choose to talk like this, not by half. Now, Alice, darling, do I rightly recollect you characterising my speech as coarse? Why, that's right cruel it is. You really think I asked for this? See, they figured they'd give us all what you call them, personality.
Who's they? And why'd you say personality like that?
Some tosser thought they'd give me this one.
Was that like a southern accent? Something like that?
It ain't right, I tell you.
Well, if I was forced to be British, I don't know how I'd handle that. So, fair enough. So, what the hell are you?
Cooper.
If you're a barrel maker, I'm an astronaut. Careful, Sigma.
Right you are, me old son. Right you are.
I'm curious what accent they gave this guy in the Japanese. Not that I would know. I'm not an expert on Japanese accents or dialects, but I'm curious what equivalent sort of thing they would be going for there.
Well, go on, have a butcher's, mate. What do I look like to you? Robot, you say? Well, nearly there, but they call us golems round here.
Again, the way you're saying that.
Golem?
Oh, I've heard of golems. They're sort of monsters, I guess, from Jewish folklore.
Yes.
They're made from clay, and they look like men. They're supposed to do whatever their master, or creator, or whatever commands them to do.
Well, aren't you a clever bird? You are, of course, correct. The golem of myth is a clay creation that moves under its own power. Our spellings are might different, though. The original blokes are spelt Golem, but me and me mates are Gaulem. That's an acronym for General Purpose Autonomous Labour Electronic Machine.
Wow, that's a stretch. But okay.
The truth to tell, it's a bit rubbish when you write it out all like that.
Yeah.
But I figure they wanted to make sure they had the golem thing in there, you know? What with us being robots and all.
Yeah, I could see that. So should I just call you Gollum?
That don't seem quite kosher. After all of me mates here are golems too. I couldn't very well call all of you lot human, could I?
What should we call you then?
Well, we've all got a product ID, and they're unique. I figure that's as good a name as any.
And your ID is?
GTM-CM-G-OLM.
Whoa.
That's way too long. We can't remember that.
What? You taking a mickey out of me? Never had a problem myself. Right then, let's just use the last bit, shall we?
Golm?
Golem?
Golem.
Come on, man, that's just Gollum.
Well, I'll be buggered. Can't say I ever noticed that before. Sure, it's a strange coincidence, isn't it?
All right, Golem. You said Alice Darling a little while ago, huh?
What? A gentleman can't say something nice to a pretty young bird, eh?
No, I don't care if you call her Darling. What I'm saying is, you called her Alice. How did you know her name?
Oh, she ain't the only one of you lot whose name I know. I know who you are, Sigma, and you too, Luna. I'm right familiar with all 9 of you.
How?
You don't know? Oh, they got cameras all over this place. Well, then again, the lenses aren't much bigger than a screw, and they're all hidden away, so I suppose I can't really blame you for missing them, you know? Now, as I was saying, there were these cameras, you see, and all of the data they record gets sent off to the mainframe in real time. So, I just gave the main core a ring, got those videos, and now I know everything you've done.
Then,
Does that mean...
You're Zero Junior?
Cool, blimey. Are you bleeding serious? Oh, you gotta be off your box if you think I'm Young Master Zero. The Young Master is a right proper AI what supervises all the electronic bits and bobs in this place. My humble self, and those with the misfortune to be like me, are more akin to computer terminals who are merely borrowing a little bit of the central core.
so golems are kind of like Zero Junior's servants.
No, not quite, Governor, not quite. I'd say me and me mates here are more like arms and legs, right? Now, you lot don't have brains in your arms and legs, do you?
Of course not.
Right you are, missus. You'd be all sorts of nasty if your elbows and that lumpy bit on your ankle was all packed with brains. Well, we're like your arms or legs. The Golem's seat of consciousness, so to speak, ain't in the head. Fact of the matter is, it's not anywhere in the body. Which makes a fellow wonder, where is it?
In the mainframe?
Spot on. So that part of me what thinks is in the mainframe. Everything this here body sees and hears and what have you, that all gets sent back there. Then the mainframe does some sort of computery jiggery pokery and comes up with some decisions, and those decisions beget commands. Now those commands are sent over the wireless like boop boop boop, and eventually my body picks them up. Finally, Those commands cause actions what move the various bits in my body. That's why this thing's like a computer terminal, you see. The body's just an output device of sorts. If we were talking about one of them personal computers here, you could say a golem's kind of like a monitor, eh?
Huh? Oh, wait a minute. Then wouldn't that make you part of Zero Junior?
Well, I suppose you could say that. What with us sharing the mainframe and all. But I don't know shit all about this game he's running. That part of the mainframe's locked away from the rest of us. I'm an independent core. Zero and I are two different blokes. You recollect what Golem stands for, huh? I'm autonomous.
Huh. But if that's the case, your hands and feet analogy doesn't really make sense. My arms and legs aren't autonomous. They don't just move on their own.
You sure, Governor? I watched you cross your arms just now.
Huh?
And now you're frowning and your forehead's getting all wrinkly. Do you do these things on purpose? Well, when you crossed your arms, were you thinking, right then, let's cross them, shall we? Curl on down then, mouth. Oh, and eyebrows. I'd be much obliged if you'd squeeze in a bit. There's a good pair of blokes. That's what you was thinking, innit? No? Didn't reckon so. I figure you did all of that subconsciously. Ain't no man on earth who says to himself, feeling a mite nervous, I'll just twitch me leg around a bit, you know? Who's thinking real hard about something and says to themselves, well, I think I'll just give the old loaf a scratch, that'll help. How's about when you reach for your tea? When you turn a page in your book? Or what about when your eyes just go straight for the pear on that bird you fancy? Yeah, the list goes on, me chums. But all of those things are your subconscious at work. Now, true, when part of your body does something, it's because your brain said so. But that don't mean your conscious mind is involved. Fact is, it can't be. If your brain had to deal with all the piddly bits of living, it'd make you balmy. That's how us golems and the young master get along. You got it all sorted now, chums?
Then you're saying that Zero Junior is the central part of the mainframe, and the golems are like his hands and feet?
Righto! Blimey. Guess I shouldn't be talking about such heavy rubbish, eh? My shoulders are all stiff.
You're a robot. How can your shoulders get stiff?
And you said your back hurt earlier. Are you just messing with us?
Yes, I did. And no, I ain't. Me back is alright mess, it is. Last maintenance check, they just left me here. I've been on this bed here for years. The lubricant for me joints is all gummed up. Every time I move, it hurts.
But why did you wake up again after all this time?
Why do you think, love? 'Cause you lot turned me on is why. Especially that other missus over there.
Oh yeah, that button on top of the safe.
Right you are, Governor.
Can you come with us then? The others need to see this.
No, I can't, and more's a pity. I can only go as far as this cable here will let me. I got internal batteries, but they're knackered. Matter of fact, that's why I was here for maintenance in the first place. The same goes for these other blokes too. Of course, they ain't connected to a power cable like I am, so they aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
I see. So, sorry about that. So, you aren't going to answer my question, huh?
What question is that?
I asked you how your shoulders can get stiff if you're a robot.
Right, so you did. Not sure why you've got to bug up your arse about that particular issue, though.
Well, I mean, I guess it's not really important, but I'm just curious, I suppose.
Curious, are you? But that's a good word, that is. A good, powerful word. The kind of word that will set any robot's heart aflutter. Let's get you sorted then, shall we? Just lend me your lords and peers for a tick. So, how can a robot get stiff shoulders? And what does pain mean to a robot? Tell me, Guff. You ever heard of the Chinese room?
I've heard of it, but it's been a while, so I don't remember. It's like, is it another AI test, like the Turing test or something? I can't remember. Without waiting for an answer, Golem launched into his explanation. Somewhere, a pretty young girl is trapped in a tiny room. The door of the room has a slot that a number of Chinese people outside the room can use to slide slips of paper to the girl. On the pieces of paper are questions written naturally in Chinese. Unfortunately, the young lady has no idea what the questions say. But then, how could she? She's never learned Chinese. Apart from a Hong Kong action movie or two in college, she's never even heard it. So for this unfortunate young lady, each note looks like nothing more than a bunch of strange symbols. Before she was locked away, she was given an order. Specifically, she was told to write an appropriate response to each question she received, and slip that answer back through the slot. Once the Chinese questions begin to show up, however, she finds herself at a loss. "Oh dear," she says to herself, "why can't I read these at all? Why, I can't read these at all. Whatever am I to do?" It is at that moment that she spots a bookshelf. The bookshelf is filled with thick books. Upon examining them, she discovers that they are some sort of Chinese phrase books. They have no explanation of what anything means, but show Chinese responses to Chinese questions. Am I supposed to use these? The questions keep coming. More and more and more of them. She finds the set of characters that correspond to the set of characters on the paper, and carefully writes out the indicated response. How's it going? It's awful. Please get me out of here. Are you hungry? Yes, I am. I haven't eaten anything since breakfast. Here, they give her some twice-cooked pork. Are you full? Yes, although I don't think my stomach liked it very much. Do you have a boyfriend? Yes, I'm dating a reggae dancer. When was your first kiss? When I was 14. He was a grade ahead of me in school. What color of underwear are you wearing? Black. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get out of this room? Beat the stuffing out of whoever's sending me these questions with the pan you cooked the twice-cooked pork in. All these questions were written in Chinese, and the answers were also written in Chinese. All the young lady did was accurately copy the symbols from the phrase books onto the slips of paper with no idea what any of it meant. Incidentally, she didn't have a dancer boyfriend. In fact, she never even kissed a boy. Also, she's wearing white underwear. Anyway.
Yes?
Basically, talking about AI, how an AI responds or something or other. I knew it was an AI thing, but it's been a while.
Is there any particular reason this girl is, pretty? Or why we need to know what color underwear she's wearing?
Luna, could you be more naive? That's all very important information.
Can't say there is.
Oh, come on, Golem.
This tickles me fancy.
I thought you were more cultured.
But the prettier the bird is, the more fun the story is, isn't it?
Exactly.
What?
I mean, look at you two. Come on, guys.
What?
Right. Well, what I wanted to say was this. All them Chinese blokes outside the room didn't know nothing about them books what she had. So it follows that they would have thought whoever was inside spoke Chinese just like them, you see? After all, far as they can tell, they're having a nice little chinway with one of their countrymen.
Okay, interesting. But what does that have to do with your shoulders or a robot feeling pain?
You thick? I feel pain when my body's having a spot of bother. Well, hold up, mate, this ain't right. We keep this up and we're buggered. If things go really pear-shaped, we'll be brown bread.
Yeah, because that's what pain is. It's a signal, from the brain. Yep. So it's just an equivalent thing for the robot, is what he's saying.
So says the central computer to itself, seeing that things are a bit bollocksed. In the interest of extricating my body from this unpleasant predicament, the mainframe sends out a signal over the wireless.
and the signal should be unpleasant.
And my software interprets that signal as pain, and I stop doing whatever daft thing I was doing. It's the same, innit? Just like the Chinese room.
So you're saying the robots feel pain differently than humans, right?
Use your loaf, missy. You listen to a word I've said. A human feels pain when you do something you shouldn't, like sit your bum down on a tack, right? Same thing for us robots. If you feel like being clever about it, there ain't really that much different between a human and a robot. Forget all about that mainframe and signal bollocks, and us golems ain't that different from the bird in the room. So think about it, love. How do you know humans ain't the same, just without all the electronic-y pony, huh? What if, when someone asks you a question, all you're doing is pulling out the right answer from some sort of phrase book in your brain? Ain't no way to prove that, of course, but far as I can see, there ain't no reason to. I mean, it's all the same, innit? If you're actually a thinking creature, or if you're just some kind of language processing machine.
Yeah, what if, just like how the robots are computer terminals, what if humans are also a kind of biologic terminal for some sort of field, maybe a kind of morphogenic field. Yes.
All what matters is if the person next to you does what a human ought. Looks like a person, acts like a person, and talks like a person, then it's probably a person. You want to live a normal life? That's all you need to know.
Fair enough. Hey, can I ask you something?
Lay it on me, Governor.
Why'd you stop us?
Ah, right you are, mate. Right you are. Got so carried away I near forgot. Haven't seen anyone for yonks, and I got a mite excited is all.
Just spit it out.
Right. Well, there was something I wanted to tell you, lot.
Boy, I hope Quark's not dead right now.
What was it?
Patience, darling. Now, I know I might look a bit out of sorts in a moment, but I ain't really supposed to. Same thing for the rest of the blokes here. Fact is, the reason we look a bit like skeletons is because we are a bit like skeletons. There's this special artificial biological tissue what's called ABT. When a golem's all new and shiny, they've got a nice suit of ABT over that metal skeleton. Makes us look right human, it does.
Uh-oh. Yeah, okay, here it is. Are we golems too? What's the deal?
Even feels like real skin, with pores, a little bit of hair, and a few pimples, scars and the like. Truth to tell, I doubt you'd be able to tell the real from the fake, even if it was right in front of you.
Or maybe because they're talking about it so much, maybe it's not going to be a thing.
See, right in the middle of...
Command violation.
Uh-oh.
Rogue processes detected. Product ID GTMCMGOLM. Executing emergency deactivation.
No. Golem. Our new friend.
Unit GTMCMGOLM. Now inactive.
Did you just execute them? Jeez.
No other rogue processes detected in additional golem platforms.
Is this announcer voice the same voice as Zero Jr.? I don't know if that's particularly relevant. I'm just curious. It sounds a bit similar, but I could see it either way.
Returning to surveillance mode.
Did Zero just shut him down?
It looks like it.
Damn it.
I wonder what he was trying to tell us.
See, right in the middle of...
Right in the middle of what? So what is it going to be? Were we in cold sleep, or are we golems? Are we, which sci-fi thing are we going for here?
An ambidex gate has been opened.
Say what?
45 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
What the hell?
Someone on the other team must have opened it.
Shit. Why would they do that?
We have to hurry.
Right, let's go. Presumably, I'm assuming the emergency with Quark is an ongoing one. Warehouse A. When are we gonna see Warehouse B? Okay. We pushed through the magenta door and ran into the warehouse. There stood Phi, Dio, and Kay. Hey! What the hell, guys?
Why did you open the AB gate before everyone got back?
I apologize. We only turned away for a moment.
Dio opened it.
You got a problem with that?
Of course we do.
Why? I don't remember us all promising we wouldn't open the thing until everyone showed up.
This isn't about promises. Are you stupid? Or just an asshole?
Probably both. We were able to get back here in time. But what about the others? Tenmyoji, Quark, and Clover are still out there somewhere.
Yeah, and we were told we need at least one of the three to be able to vote, right? Or else they'll get eliminated.
What were you planning to do if they didn't get back in time?
Nothing. Why would I have to do anything? Didn't you hear the voice? Anybody who doesn't get back in time to vote just gets their vote automatically set to ally.
No, but we need at least one of the three, right?
Pretty straightforward to me. So what if they don't get back in time? They'll all get set to ally and all three of them will get 2 BP. Sounds like a sweet deal to me.
Or did I hallucinate that?
Tenmyoji's only got 1 BP. I figure he'll be pretty happy to get 2 more. And that'll put Quark and Clover up close to 9. So that's not too bad for them either. In other words, they ought to be thanking me.
Didn't you guys find a note?
What? What's this?
We found it in our safe. Read it.
Here are some more AB game rules for you. Not voting is not an option. If both parties refuse to vote, then every bunny gets penalized. In other words, 1 person out of every color group of 3 has to vote. What the hell, man? This wasn't in our room. Back me up here, guys.
He's right.
There was no such note in our safe.
Oh, well, damn. That's a bummer.
That's one way to say it.
I'd never have opened the gate if I'd known about this.
Really?
Of course.
I'm worried about the others. If time runs out,
They'll be penalized, yes.
I know. Quark is part of that team. Maybe something happened with him.
Man, Tenmyoji is straight up not having a good day. He seemed a little off before we headed into the chromatic doors. Yeah, that's also a way to describe that, Sigma.
This is bad.
Hey, wait a minute. Where's Alice? Alice, don't tell me. Did you go to an ambidex room? Or what? Or did... What are you doing? It took me only a moment to spot her. She was several yards away and kneeling down to look at something on the floor. What she was looking at, I couldn't tell. I was about to head over and see what was going on when... Hello. Hey guys, where's Quark? Whoa, hey guys.
Quark! Has Quark been here?
Uh-oh.
Did something happen to him? He disappeared.
Disappeared? What do you mean?
I mean, he's gone. We can't find him anywhere. When was the last time you saw him?
Sorry, I know this is a tense moment, but that Kay putting his hands up to his face like that's kind of funny.
We were heading back here.
Tenmyoji and I went into the lounge, but Quark didn't follow us.
We turned around and started calling for him, but
When he didn't respond, we ran back the way we'd come.
And you couldn't find him?
right.
We thought maybe he just hadn't seen us go into the lounge.
So we checked the crew quarters and the infirmary.
But he wasn't there either.
All right, we need to split up. If we can't find him in any of the floor A rooms, we'll move to floor B.
Okay. I need to go tell Alice. You guys go on ahead.
Alice, what are you doing? Why is Alice like the most shifty person in this whole team? Okay, right, you do that. Hey, Quark. Quark. I'm really not in the mood to find a dead body, so let's not do that. He's not here. I checked both rooms.
He's not in the other two either. There's no one here.
Tenmyoji and Kay are in the lounge, and Dio and Luna should be checking the infirmary.
Right. Okay, let's leave that to them and head to floor B.
You went through the red door with Dio and Kay, right?
Yeah, so?
What was on the other side of that door?
You want to see it?
Yeah. Maybe Quark went in there.
Fine. Follow me.
What have we got? What have we got? Ooh, we went through the arrow. The pantry, you say? This is...
The pantry.
Pantry?
That drawer over there is stuffed with processed food. Wasn't half bad, actually.
You ate it?
Yeah. There was some paella, nasi goreng, schnitzel, yukejang, borscht, and tom kha gai. Oh, and I ate the chef's pasta, too.
That's a lot of food.
Can't help it. I'm a growing girl.
How old are you?
20, I think.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just stop. I don't even know where to start here. 1. By the time you hit 20, you're done growing. 2. You think? You should be old enough to know how old you are. 3. How on earth are you 20? You look like you're 13 if you're a day. I can't believe you're only 2 years younger than me.
Now that's funny. You must have done a lot of drugs to look like that at 22.
Oh, give me a break, you little punk.
Don't call me little. I'm an adult, you dried up asshole.
Yeah, this is a great time to be doing this, guys. Gah. Fine, whatever. So this place has enough food to keep people alive for a few years, huh? Looks like this stuff isn't going to expire anytime soon.
Yeah, the use-by date is about 100 years from now.
How about water?
There's a tank over there. It looks like they're pulling it out of some kind of well.
Is it safe?
Well, since Dio isn't rolling around on the floor in agonizing pain, I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's okay.
You made him drink it to make sure it was safe?
I guess you could say that.
So you ate all the food without a second thought, but the water struck you as possibly dangerous.
No, I was careful with the food too. Dio had some of it first, and it seemed fine, so I... Oh, I almost forgot.
What?
I ate something else! Twice cooked pork!
Uh-huh. Oh, for God's sake. Why the hell are you shouting about that? Wait a minute. Twice cooked pork?
What is it?
Well, that just reminded me of something.
Reminded you of what?
This might seem hard to believe.
Bullshit.
Oh, come on, at least let me tell you first. Alright. I explained how we'd found a room called the Golem Bay on the other side of the green door, and how we met a robot there named Golem, who told a very interesting story.
I see. So the Golem guy was turned off just when he was about to tell you something.
Yeah,
So the last thing he said was, see you right in the middle of...
yeah.
Right in the middle. Middle could be from Middle Kingdom, which is another name for China.
Well, this was utterly pointless.
Really? I don't think so.
Please explain.
Well, maybe he was trying to say that this game is like the Chinese room. In other words...
Sigma, Phi!
What? Look, what's going on here? Are we robots? Were we in cold sleep? Is it time travel? Is it a simulation? What's the deal? Where are we going with this? There's so many avenues at this point. Okay.
There you are. I've been looking all over for you.
What's going on?
Something bad. Something really bad.
Well, come on, spill it.
Alice is... Just come with me.
Okay.
She's in the crew quarters.
This is going wonderfully. Good work, everyone. Okay. We have our first group death. And it is in fact Alice with a knife to the chest. What in the world? Is this meant to be I'll use the word from last time, reminiscent of Lotus? Because Lotus was dressed similarly to Alice. And she wasn't the first death, but she had a very similar death to this. What, twice? At least twice, right? Where she got knifed like this. Well, sorry. What? No, this isn't real. All I could hear were Zero's words echoing in my ears. Your heart stops, your bracelet comes off. If you've never been in turbulence, it's hard to explain. You feel the sudden, alien weightlessness of a long fall, and for just a moment you're painfully aware of the fact that you are thousands of feet above the earth in a flimsy machine made by fallible men, kept aloft by a scientific principle that nobody actually understands. If you've never seen a friend dead, it's hard to explain, but it's a little like that. Sorry, it's just... You call Alice a friend. That's interesting. I knelt down beside Alice's body and pressed a shaking hand to her throat. No pulse. Her skin had already turned pale. The thing in front of me looked like a human being, but it wasn't a human being any longer. Why had this happened? I knelt there for several long moments, staring blankly ahead. My throat burned and my chest was tight, but I forced myself to take 3 progressively calmer breaths, then stood. I clenched my fist, took one last breath, and turned. Who found her first?
Me. I was looking for Quark on floor B and couldn't find him. So I came back here and, well, you know the rest. Hey, what's that look supposed to mean? You better not be thinking I did it.
Well, suspicion often falls on the first to discover a crime.
Fuck that. She'd already been murdered when I got here.
How do you know she was murdered?
What? Come on, it's obvious. She's got a knife sticking out of her chest. Does that look like an accident or a suicide to you?
How do you know the weapon was a knife?
What?
All you can see from here is the handle. For all you know, it could have been an ice pick or some kind of tool.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true, but I mean, come on. Who wouldn't look at that and assume it's a knife?
I mean, I assumed it was a knife.
And it's not fair to suspect someone just because they happen to be the first one to find the body. If you want to be like that, then the last person to see Alice is the person you should be looking at.
Who was the last person to see her? I need to go tell Alice. You guys go on ahead. Alice, why? This wasn't supposed to happen. You promised me we'd catch them together. Don't do this.
Clover.
I can't trust them anymore. It could have been any one of them. They killed you, Alice. I can't forgive them for that.
Clover, hey, why'd you betray Alice earlier? What was that about, huh?
I'm going to get revenge. I'll find out who killed you. And I'll...
Hey, Clover?
Shut up! Don't you talk to me! I'm sorry, Alice.
Her voice shook as she spoke. Before anyone could say anything, she turned and ran out of the room.
Wait! Clover, come back!
Tenmyoji took off in pursuit, and I made to follow when...
It's pointless. Even if you caught up to her, she'd never tell you anything. Think it through. There are 2 possibilities. Either Clover killed her, or she didn't. If the former is true, then I doubt she would confess. If the latter is true, then I imagine she'll be just as reticent. After all, Alice and Clover seem to know each other. In fact, they seem quite close. It seems safe to assume that Clover is currently very suspicious of all of us. I doubt she would open up to anyone right now.
You seem pretty calm. Did you do it?
Not again. Well, if you really want to suspect me, please, go ahead. I'm beginning to feel rather accustomed to it. I would ask you to consider my motive for killing Alice. Specifically, the fact that I have none.
Well, yes, but none of us do. None of us have ever met Alice before, right? So why would we want to kill her?
You are correct, but only if the murder had a motive beyond, well, murder.
What do you mean?
Do you remember when we found the old woman? It seemed clear that her killer was Zero Senior, and that they were one of us. There is every reason to think the same person murdered Alice. Perhaps this person plans to kill us one by one. Perhaps the entire nonary game is just window dressing. Perhaps the only reason we are here is so that Zero Senior can kill us at his leisure, in a world of his own creation.
That seems... so self-indulgent and so overly elaborate. I want to murder these people, but I'm not just going to murder them. I want to murder them while they're doing this incredibly complicated game. It seems very strange, but okay, fair enough.
Why would anyone do such a horrible thing?
Presumably, because they enjoy killing. Zero Senior seems to be rather disturbed.
Hold on a minute. That doesn't mean they're the one of us. There could be a 10th person hiding out somewhere.
No,
Well, why not?
there's no way Zero Jr. wouldn't notice that. And if he did notice, I really don't think he'd just let something like that slide.
But isn't Zero Jr. just an AI without a body? What could he do?
Maybe. But Zero Sr. has a body. Do you think they'd really just let a 10th unwanted participant just run around murdering people?
Well, what if the 10th person is Zero Senior?
Not possible. At least not so long as we assume Zero Jr.'s statement to be the truth. Do you remember? He made it quite clear that the real Zero was one of us.
I thought about what Kay had said. If the killer was Zero Senior, then who could be the killer? Dio? Luna? Kay, perhaps? Or maybe Clover? There was always Tenmyoji. Fi, maybe? No, couldn't be her. I had been with Fi the whole time. We were looking for Quark. There was no way she could have slipped away to stab Alice in the chest. Wait a minute. There was one person I'd forgotten. Quark. It seemed like a bit of a stretch to think a kid could kill someone of Alice's size, though. That meant there were 5 real suspects. Dio, Luna, Kay, Clover, and Tenmyoji. Huh. Where had Quark gone? Or we have some outside knowledge here. What if Alice got the Radical 6 bug, and then she stabbed herself, you know? Something like that.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Apparently Zero doesn't feel like this is worth stopping the game for. A blunt but effective way to make the point.
Well, silver lining. Alice won't be there to screw with the vote. Sorry, that's very insensitive. And not respectful to the dead. But you know, gotta look on the bright side of things. What do you mean?
We should get to the warehouse. It seems clear he feels no compunction about killing us. Should we disobey the rules? As such, I recommend we follow them.
The others filed out of the room. I turned to face Alice. Alice. I'll find out who did this to you. I promise. I felt my stomach settle back to its normal configuration, and the fire in my chest melted the icy hand from my spine. I stood up straight, gave Alice one last nod, and walked out after the others, leaving my regrets lying on the cold floor. Why does Sigma care about Alice so much? True, we're trapped in all this together.
Hey, look. 2 of the AB gates are closed already.
Probably Tenmyoji and Clover.
Wasn't he a pair? Doesn't Quark need to go with him?
As long as one person in each pair is there, it should be okay.
Yeah.
Sharing their destiny, huh?
Pretty much.
That's good news for you, Sigma. After all, you're a pair, but your partner is, well, I'd rather not say it.
Yeah. I know.
Good luck for you, huh, Luna?
What? I don't understand what you mean.
Well, if Alice was still alive, you'd have a hard time choosing Betray. She only had 1 BP left. If you'd picked Betray, you could have killed her. Of course, that's not really a problem now.
Stop that, Dio. I would have chosen Ally regardless. I mean, Sigma's going to be my opponent. And I trust him.
Really?
Haha. Now, this is interesting. If one of you guys picks Betray, we are gonna get a show.
Dio!
Ignore him. How do you and Phi plan to vote?
You even gotta ask? Ally. Of course. Right, Phi?
I don't know about that. It's a difficult question.
What?
Well, if we choose ally and Kay chooses the opposite, then he'll have 9 points. He can go through the number 9 door whenever he wants. But it's not as simple as just choosing betray either. If Kay decides to ally for some reason, then you'd end up with 9 points.
So we should both choose ally. Seems easy to me.
You're planning on betraying me, aren't you, Dio? As soon as you go through that door, it will be only the two of you in that room. I've no doubt you could overpower Phi, if you had the desire to.
Oh, give me a little credit. No one has more gentle points than me. You think someone of my stature would resort to violence? The nerve.
What?
This is just a thought, but why don't all of you promise to choose betray? Then you wouldn't have to worry about anything. If you knew the other person was going to betray you, you'd have no choice but to do the same.
That seems pretty negative for you, Luna.
I'm sorry.
Nothing to apologize for. We appreciate your suggestion and we'll take it into consideration. But unfortunately, I don't think it's a very good idea. See, my goal is to beat this game.
But Phi...
Maybe that wasn't the best way to put it. When I say I want to beat it, I mean defeat it. Completely. I want to get us all out of here. We haven't beat the nonary game until we're all out of this place. I guess we won't all be getting out anymore, though.
Oh, you mean Alice?
Yeah. At any rate, all of us choosing betray every time is hardly ideal. We'd never escape.
Then what are you gonna do?
Kay needs to choose ally. It's the only way.
How will you make sure I do that? I have no guarantee that she'll choose ally as well.
Would you do it if I could give you that guarantee?
Well, yes, I suppose so.
You promise?
Yes.
Good. Let's do this. Dio!
Huh?
There's someone behind you.
What?
The moment Dio turned his head, Phi was off. With seemingly superhuman strength, she leapt through the air, across the room, and through the AB gate. Oh.
What the fuck?
Get owned, Dio. My goodness.
You bitch! God damn it, Phi! Open this fucking door!
He pounded on the door, screaming, but it showed no signs of opening again.
Fuck!
He gave the door one last slam for good measure, then ran to the next open one.
Invalid pair detected. Please retry with valid partner. Members of a pair cannot vote in separate rooms.
What? Why the fuck not? This is against the rules. How am I supposed to vote? This is bullshit.
I see. This is how Phi can guarantee her choice. Dio can't vote now, so the chance that Phi would choose ally just went way up. After all, if you pick ally and she betrays you, then
Dio will have 9 points.
Exactly.
But don't you think Phi might be worried that Kay will break his promise? After all, if he can be pretty sure that Phi is going to choose ally, then...
You needn't worry. Her plan is very clever. I will definitely choose ally.
2 minutes remain until polling closes.
We don't have much time left. Let's go.
Right.
Okay. Sigma? You are going to choose ally, right?
Of course. We both have 5 BP right now. Even if I did betray you, I'd only get 3 points. That's not enough to escape. So I'd have to wait until the next round anyway. Make sense?
Oh, I see.
Huh?
Nothing. Never mind. Anyway, you promised. You have to choose ally.
Yo, what if Luna betrays us right now, man? Wouldn't that be crazy? Right, I will. Getting me to make promises and stuff. That'd be pretty revealing. Start the game.
30 seconds remain until polling closes.
Now, what am I going to do? Well, I guess there isn't really any question. After all, I promised Luna that I'd pick Ally. But what if she was lying to me?
I would have chosen Ally regardless. I mean, Sigma's going to be my opponent, and I trust him.
10 seconds remain.
Are we gonna have
until
another?
Ambidex game
Are we gonna have
board
another
closes.
character who's like a chameleon, who seems some way on the outside but is really another way, like Quark? And Luna's actually crazy or something.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What are you trying to do, game? Trying to scare me? I am not afraid.
Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed.
This will be revealing either way.
Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
Okay.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed.
They will be displayed next time. Okay. Well, quite a lot happened that time. Quark disappearance, Alice death, Alice was messing with something near the Ambidex room at the end. Had our chat with the Golem. He talked about the nature of, intelligence and the nature of AI and the Chinese room thing and all of that good stuff. And, yeah. Some more, game theory stuff at the end, strategizing. Yeah. Okay, so quite an eventful episode here. As I said, we'll get a real peek into who Luna is next time, I think, with her voting. But as I said, I'm not afraid. No, dang it, Virtue's Last Reward. Why do you do this to me? Why do I keep making the same mistake? Okay, we'll see next time. I've been the Worm. This has been Virtue's Last Reward. Things are getting, well, as I've said a couple times in this episode, it can go so many different ways now that, I don't really feel connected to any specific possibility here, so I'm waiting for more information. Let's see where this ride takes us. I've been the Worm. This has been Virtue's Last Reward, and I'll see you next time. Stay well.